Hello and good afternoon. Today, this will be a shorter stream, most likely. Uh, s- Today we will be looking at, excuse me, give me a second. T Today we'll be looking at, as the title says, why Instagram Reels simply cannot be TikTok. And so as we can see clearly here, I'm working on a Substack piece on my Substack Market Diary. Of course, link in the description. Completely free to sign up for the email list. Everything is free, of course, so feel free to read the more in-depth uh, textual version of what this video is going to be about. But the core idea is, of course, if you look at Facebook, TikTok, actually, this is actually pretty good. But of course, the idea, right, is that TikTok is, of course, this massive, massive new social media platform, right? That is sweeping uh, that is taking up incredible user numbers. Excuse me, I am doing a selfless promotion, but I did upload I did upload an interesting graphic, and so here it is. So to illustrate my point, uh, and so this is a revenue uh, for TikTok. I'm not sure if it's including ByteDance overall, but the idea is that of course user numbers aren't analogous, right? As we have Facebook's uh, earnings, which we'll look at, right? Because we are contrasting a face Meta, I should say, to TikTok slash ByteDance. Well, it is TikTok. The U.S. is a separate separate entity, uh, right? But the fact that they have average revenue ARPU for users versus uh, their user metrics, just goes to show how. Of course, it is a generality, so like this is indicative of user growth. But the idea, right, is that TikTok has a billion monthly active users, right? Um, which again, like if you graph out uh, like the revenue growth, the user growth of TikTok versus older like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, like YouTube's not that, but like TikTok exponential, the rest of them like quasi linear growth, right? But the idea, right, is that TikTok short video is a new medium of engagement, and so certainly to the degree that Facebook talks about it a lot in their earnings call, like I believe 6 times in the most recent earnings call they talked about it. Probably better to type. Should I say Zuckerberg talked about or mentioned TikTok 6+ times, right? And so let me actually pull up a tweet thread that inspired me to think about and to have this discussion concept in the first place. And let's go to this tweet thread to lay the groundwork as this tweet thread did this like it articulated like the broad brushstrokes that interested me in this, right? But mentioned TikTok a lot. Uh, YouTube Reels, yeah, it's not really analogous. YouTube Shorts, I should say. And I think his point, right? Like Reels shows you nature travel content, and of course in the comments, let me know if that is indicative of your Facebook Reels experience. For me personally, I don't I don't use Instagram Reels. It's of course Mr. Zuckerberg himself. Uh, let me where is it? Of course, Mr. Zuckerberg himself uses Reels, as you will see just now. Uh, I can't turn the sound on. I'll get copyrighted. But this is a the song that is playing is Heat Waves, as you can see, and he uploaded this 3 hours ago. Hey, Zuckerberg has the moves, right? And I'm pretty sure this is a reel. It is a reel when you check on it from mobile. I mean, we'll revisit this, and you can okay, and I'll include a link to this Mark Zuckerberg reel in the comment as well, alongside my Ko-fi. Really quickly on the Ko-fi point, it's just you know to truly be part of the creator economy. Everybody needs a Ko-fi, and also if anybody who honestly like, if I'm just being honest, like it's not the worst idea to just take a domain name, get your username, have it. Because honestly, I think a platform like Ko-fi, like zero fees, um, is honestly pretty interesting, right? So yes, and honestly, yeah, just as a recommendation, like just as it's good to have like some backup emails to have like nice, not too many numbers in them. Like it's always good to reserve. And also for this, just gonna a second the like public facing repository for say like interesting images, uh, Valorant gameplay postmortems. Again, everything's free. Nothing's paywall. Um, but check it out. Of course, also in the description. Um, but back to it, right? Okay, so Reels, anecdotally, of course, tends to show a certain type of content. TikTokers, Instagram, right? It's not like anybody's restricted to one platform, and often if you use TikTok, you'll see that, right? People link to their Instagrams, or in some cases to their YouTube channels, right? So it's and I've talked about this earlier in my like a creator go-to-market strategy video. Well, I should link to that. Uh, but the idea, right, that like these social platforms offer different value as to which part of say like the pyramid of users you want to engage of your market funnel, right? Where TikTok, uh, widest funnel, right? And we'll talk about why TikTok has the widest funnel. But I think it's undeniable that TikTok has the largest funnel. Is it, or TikTok is the most fair platform. I should uh, right. Most fair platform. TikTok is the most fair platform. I think that is pretty clearly the case. I don't know if any of if, again I encourage you to, Chris, again, it's very free to do so. Like just go on TikTok. Like don't have to use your camera. Just have to like take a screenshot of like a meme, make a slideshow, right? But whatever engagement you will get on TikTok, you will get more undeniably, and you'll get more engagement from a brand new account. Like no real, like not connecting it to any of your existing social network, not adding contacts, not doing any of that. Just make an account, just upload like a video, a TikTok. That's just a screenshot. Put a song over it. You will get and to the degree that I'm saying like exponentially or infinitely more engagement. When I'm saying that, I mean that because if you do that on Instagram, you will get zero engagement, right? And so to the degree that you can't 5x from zero, uh, or right, but again, like in the future, I might have to show my TikTok analytics in the future to illustrate that point. But again, TikTok is the most fair platform, right? It is wide funnel. It's why TikTok has that engagement because it's fair. Instagram, Twitter, you need an existing following, uh, right? Like you can spam hashtag for you hashtag explore page, but uh, it's not it's not meant for that, right? As I mentioned here, right? Instagram isn't meant. It's not Google. It's not YouTube. To the degree that YouTube is something that you watch random videos on, which again is debatable. But Instagram, it's mainly for friends, and it's not. I'm not just saying that. You can go to Adam Mosseri. It's the guy in charge of Insta. You can go to this guy, Adam Mosseri, the guy in charge of Instagram, and you can, and he does these Q&As, right? Like pretty regularly, like a couple times, once a week, pretty regularly. And you can go to his Q&A. You can of course submit a question to him, but if you just watch his Q&As, you'll see a consistent trend where he consistently mentions that the Instagram is for friends, and you can see that, and you know it's the case because Instagram. Right. And we know that's the case. We know that Instagram, and we know, as in the consumer or the observer, we know we know that Instagram knows that it's a platform for keeping up with friends. It's not a discovery thing. It's for people you know. We know that because of for all this thing, right? Like they're pivoting. Like Masteri has clearly said repeatedly in his Q&As, he gets questions about why am I getting so much algorithm like recommended stuff and not people I follow. And he says, well, because we are, right, because TikTok, right, algorithmic. So Instagram, right, instead of being like, wants to increase that discoverability funnel, right, which an algorithmic content feed provides, instead of one where you self-select who you follow, and that's all you get versus the algorithm tosses in stuff that it thinks you might uh, like let's random people enter into your feed, random content that you would otherwise see, right? Which is TikTok, right? That's why your random video can get into somebody else's feed who has no connection to you. Instagram, that doesn't happen, right? Let's screenshot this and move it to the here, right? And so we know that that is the case, which is why this entire feature exists, right? Favorites, people you know, for explicitly for only and only people you follow. Following, you'll get it's your default, so you'll get your algorithmic stuff. But favorites, you choose who you want to favorite, and you will only get those people's content in a chronological timeline, right? So again, sorry, so that is clear evidence, right, for what I'm saying, right? So uh, TikTok is the most fair platform. Again, I think it's pretty intuitive. I mean, if you talk to people who use TikTok, talk to your friends who use TikTok. Uh, and like I don't think a lot of us have like insane followings, uh, but just talk to them and like you'll see like that they do get engaged. Like I'm willing to bet that your friends who post TikToks do get engagement. I just post like screenshots of like funny Twitter threads, or Twitter posts I see, tweets I should say, and I get relative engagement, right? But again, I know however minimal, if it's only 100 views, I know that that's more than I would get if I made a brand new Instagram account, right? Whereas TikTok, again, completely bootstrapped, no social graph, no social network. Yeah, starting from zero, and I know that I will get more engagement on TikTok, TT. Uh, so TT, more engagement on TT than IG. There's a rhyme, there's a rap, there's a rhythmic garage band song somewhere. TT over IG, somewhere there. But okay, so Instagram is for friends, right? And so to the point that Instagram's core focus is it's for friends. It's not really for discovery. I don't. There's a couple of use cases for Instagram as a discovery feature that uh I'm not sure if I should say because it's you know but I think you know what I mean when like there's like certain discovery feature like if you go on your explore page I think like decent chances that it's mostly uh like swimwear or at least from some friends a decent chunk of friends I've talked to again self-selection bias I suppose maybe right but again like you're not going to and again please tell me if I'm wrong and this is relatively anecdotal but I do think that the fact that out of all the design decisions right putting in engineer hours to develop things and the fact that when they clearly want to pivot towards algorithmic right which is why which is what Instagram Reels. Oh, I should of course. Right, we are talking about Instagram Reels, of course. Let's bold that. All right. Instagram Reels cannot be TikTok. How talk. Yeah, but Instagram. Okay, right. So refocusing again. This stream is a bit, like typing, talking at the same time. I, my simple, my simple brain, whatever cortex, or uh, uh, or, or neurons can't handle it. Right. So it's a bit disjointed, but I think the flow of consciousness explaining the idea. And of course, again, there will be the written write-up at some point. Won't be exactly up at posting of this video, but it will be up, and so a future reference. But okay, but again, to the idea that Instagram wants to be like TikTok to keep its users um, who like short form content in its loop. And to the degree that that's a bit misguided, because again, like TikTok and Instagram, like if by definition, if Instagram can't be TikTok, then kind of like the same principles I'm talking about here, such as like divergence from your core focus, uh, then like it goes both ways. So TikTok can't be Instagram. Although if I'm being frank, I think TikTok can do it to a degree. Like they do have a stories. Like you can have like a flow of consciousness, like a timeline, but it's not going to be the same, and it's not really the purpose, right? Because again, right, like why have a timeline uh, when it's going to be weird if like random people from the public are, right? And if you're going to have it only for friends or private, then why just have an Instagram, right? So again, to the degree that like TikTok's not going to destroy Instagram, like none of it's existential. Of course, as a little joke, of course, Facebook might want to destroy TikTok, but uh, by the way, ignoring those matters, um, which aren't pertinent. Uh, so, but yeah, okay. So again, to the degree that like the entire idea that Reels should be TikTok or can be TikTok uh, is a bit misguided. Secondly, I don't again I'm not gonna dox myself or my people I follow on Instagram, uh, but I won't show you Instagram user UI. Again, I'm on PC, so I can't show you. If I can. Instagram mobile. Maybe we can see, but I don't know. Like I secondly to the point that that Instagram's UI is just not that good. Like if you think like there's an interesting idea put forward that if you compare Instagram's features, you compare Instagram, the features of Instagram to like the user interface of Instagram to say a WeChat, the uh, the Chinese super app or one of two super apps. Um, and again, as a user of both apps, like it's insane how like WeChat does, again like excessively way more than Instagram, and yet the user interface is way less cluttered, way more clear. Maybe not clear because you have to like type around and um, but it's not. They don't try to smash everything onto one page, which Instagram does try to put everything. IGTV, Reels, your own like search to create. Like it smashes it into one view. I mean, and WeChat doesn't, which means naturally then it's less cluttered and like the way like if it's how things stack onto one another is different also. Uh, right. But again, that's something for another day. Like if I'm on my phone sharing. Because so UI is not the most, but to the degree like if you really want to add in a brand new feature, then you're either like A gonna add to the clutter, um, or B you're gonna have to reshuffle like what you want to shove in the face of users. But actually comes with trade-offs, and honestly, given again to what I've said about my skepticism about Reels being a serious competitor to TikTok, uh, is a bit questionable. Now, I should say when I say like a serious competitor to TikTok, it doesn't mean that I do think that Reels can be a good product for people to use. I do think it's going to be good for people. Like I think it's a decent product. Like it goes up, it goes down. Like I use my thumb, you know. Like just this is a funny video of a monkey. Let me find it. There's a funny video of a monkey in uh all right, give me a second. All right, if anything, right? As I say, again, plugging the Ko-fi. Uh, if anything made you laugh, you know, feel free to leave a buck. You know, just kidding. Um, but all right, but to the degree, right, that like TikTok, very easy to use, right? Here we have a monkey effectively using TikTok, right? Look at it. Like he's like he's like at the right. I mean, come on, look at that. Like he was actually watching the thing, and he's it's actually all right, we'll leave that in the background as I talk. Right, but again, so like the product, like the entire product vision, right? Like again, like it's not like Instagram's they're not doing something different than TikTok is, right? Like it's short form, it's up down, right? Like, comment, music behind the video. Not so much filters, I haven't noticed yet. Right, so to a degree, like if you're just copying something, right, just as like you're porting over a feature, uh, like a proven feature, right, proven enough to get to 1 billion users, MAUs, monthly active users, like total users probably higher, well, is higher. Um, so like it's gonna work as a product, as a software feature for the app. But the point is like it's not gonna Instagram Reels succeeding isn't gonna mean TikTok's gonna fail because again, um, like you're not gonna be TikTok at this game. Uh, let's move this over here. But again, right. But again, right. The idea like we're not talking about like a massive revolutionary leap, right? I don't think anybody really associates Facebook with too much innovation per se. But of course, Reality Labs, Metaverse might be different. But who knows? Again, Apple's going to release their headset, and Apple is just going to take all the headlines once Apple releases their VR headset or AR or virtual reality, augmented reality. Uh, their thing probably didn't fall if reports are right. Um, but anyways, right. Okay, so that's the user interface. It's not the most pertinent, but it's just a reminder that Instagram is trying to do like, Instagram tries to do a lot. It tries to be an e-commerce platform. It tries to be like a live streaming platform, right? IGTV. It tries to be a photo platform. And now it wants to be a short form video platform. So it's a lot of hats to wear, right? It's a lot of hats to wear. And just as anybody tries a code switch or put on different faces, it's hard to do, right? Just principally. And I think if you just think about the apps of the websites you use, the apps you use. Like, I'd say most of them, and the ones that you use the most, like they stick to what their core value proposition is. Like they don't diverge too much. Like they're relatively consistent in what they do. Pinterest is pins, right? YouTube is video, and of course YouTube has short form video. But again, short form, long form, like no need to argue semantics, right? But like YouTube does video. YouTube is not a you're not hosting slideshows on YouTube. Although of course on my channel I do record slideshows and upload them. Right, but you get the idea, right? That it's for consumer facing apps, websites. You're not doing everything. Of course, you could say, "Oh, what about Google?" But Google, again, it's a search thing. But like not conflate. But you get, but the idea, right? Is like you have your core competency, your core focus, right? Just as like, um, And the companies themselves will disagree with this summation. Like I'd argue that some people might argue that not me. Some people might argue that Snapchat is like a photo company, similar to Instagram. But then of course Snapchat themselves say that Snapchat and like Evan Spiegel himself says Snapchat camera company, right? Right from the thing. Snapchat is a camera company. Um, and of course, I'm sure a lot of certainly if you ask like a teenager who uses Snapchat, what type of company is Snapchat? They'll say social media or photo or whatever, right? But Snapchat would say camera company, and so of course there's like the corporate. I see why I understand why Snapchat says that. Why it says a camera company. It is something interesting to dig into in a future video. At the same time, I understand how your theoretical teenager would agree that it's a social media, photo company, whatever, right? But the entire idea, right, is like, but it's like Snapchat. Snapchat's not trying to do video. It's not trying to beat like live streams like Twitch or like it's mainly it's not diverging too much from its core focus, whichever way. So again, um, again, it can work. And I'm not saying that over featureizing your app is going to lead to failure. Clearly, Instagram at this point, like, it hasn't suffered any it hasn't destroyed Instagram. But again, that's because again, the core value proposition of Instagram is to keep in loop with friends, mainly through photos, um, or videos. And again, to the degree that we know that because of this feature that they put man hours into doing, um, shows that, right? And so like they're not like uprooting their core focus. And so if you want to add dilutive stuff, like is it the most practical stuff? Is the opportunity cost of the hours, the investment worth it? I don't know. I don't have your company's Excels and your NPV, your net present value calculations, but again, right? So the idea that again, more of a broader point than I suppose that it's just a gripe with Instagram's user interface that it's a bit cluttered, tossing in reels, yeah, adding to the clutter. It's not really additive to the core, be in their loop with friends, just to be engaged with friends, focus on Instagram. But again, at the same time, right? I'm sure people would have said the same when Facebook added stories to Instagram. Uh, and clearly, right? It's very hard to imagine Instagram without the stories feature, right? So to agree that, and so again, right? Like Reels, it's going to be. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna like add a clarifying word. Like Instagram Reels will be a useful, successful product for Instagram users to use. It's just not going to cannibalize TikTok, and it's not gonna uh, move anybody from TikTok to Reels. Like if you use TikTok, you're gonna keep on using TikTok. You're not gonna stop using TikTok for Reels. And at the same time, if you use Reels, like you're probably gonna be using TikTok still, or it'll be very easy for you to use TikTok, right? So and like and again, I'll dive into that towards in a bit. Uh, okay, let's. Uh, oh, I can't cross out. I suppose this isn't a word. Okay, but we talked about point two. Talked about point one. All right, for point three, um, in the idea, right, that like again, so TikTok algorithmic feed, Instagram in general wants to be more of an algorithmic feed. They already are, in that you don't get a chronological timeline. Like ignoring like the people that you don't follow who they add to your timeline, just ignoring that completely. Like the fact that it's not it is not a chronological feed just shows uh, that it is not it is algorithmic, right? Because it's choosing who you follow, choosing who of the people that you follow you get to see. So it is algorithmic, right? And so how does it not like? And so you need data uh, to inform your algorithm, right? And at the same time, by using the platform, you provide the platform with data that can then be used uh, and punched into the algorithm. Again, I'm not a machine learning. I'm not a AI. I'm not a quant. So broad strokes, right? You get the idea, right? Like it needs data to give your feed, and you give the feed again the company by proxy and the entire internal process data. And so it's a loop, right? But here's the thing, right? Instagram, as we've established, or as you know implicitly from using these platforms, is very different. You use Instagram very for different reasons than you use TikTok, right? Again, Instagram. No, I don't want to over extrapolate, but just if we're just being honest, right? Use Instagram, right, to keep up with friends, like, or right, but generally speaking, or for a very specific niche, like if you're looking up somebody, or if you're looking for a specific type of like clothing, or you want to see a uh, for a specific brand, but you're using Instagram very specific searches, very specific purpose as to why you are on the app. And again, and just as a quick aside, again, Adam Mosseri, he he openly says that people do not spend a whole lot of time on Instagram. He actually said, I was a bit surprised to hear him say it. He actually says that uh, in one of his Q and A's that like their research was that people just don't use Instagram for that long, which is why you don't get to see all the things that your friends post, because you're just not on the platform that much. Again, Adam Mosseri. Yeah, that's not, it's not word for word, but the idea. But the idea is he said that people do not use Instagram for that long of a time, right? Which again, to me, goes to show my point that you use Instagram for targeted, specific purpose, whereas TikTok, you do not have. Again, there are fringe cases, and everybody's different. But TikTok, you're much more open to getting like you go. I say generally speaking, you go on TikTok because you want to be surprised, you want to get a laugh, you want to see things that you wouldn't otherwise see, and that is a completely different product purpose compared to what Instagram says, right? Discovery, discovery of content that is relatively tailored to you. Again, for you page versus Instagram feed, and you want to see things that are relevant to you. Um, all right, so specific focus, specific purpose on Instagram, TikTok, specific purpose, or you use Instagram for a specific purpose, use TikTok for discovery, not specific beyond. Right. So again, that's a very extremely different mindset, right? And so again, right, like why did people use like like the idea that there's self-selection bias among users, right? Like you self-select into what you want to experience. Just as like people who play, um, just as people who watch American football go to New York would go to American football game versus people who like football would go to a football game versus American football, right? There's self-selection, and so you self-select into the apps that you use, right? Um, and so the point I'm making with that idea is that people who use TikTok because they want to be entertained. They don't have a specific purpose. They don't have like they don't have friends they're checking out. They don't have like what did uh, Adidas is there a coupon code for Adidas, right? Like they're going to like spend 20, 30 minutes and just see videos and maybe get a laugh, maybe save a video. Instagram, you go for specific purposes, right? And so again, but that is a major difficulty that you have to shift. If the idea that like Instagram can do video, it can do images, it can do messaging, it can do those things well. Um, sure, but it doesn't mean that again, the idea you can't consume what somebody else. You're not going to consume somebody else with that. And so like there's self-selection. So it's always going to be a second class thing. It's always going to it is always going to be, and I think this is probably more so the point. I think Instagram Reels will be an ancillary feature. It will be a sideshow. It'll be something that again, if uh, if I send if I send this video to somebody to my friends in a group chat, I send this reel. It is a reel. People will click on it. they will go into the Reels format and they can scroll up and down maybe for a couple of videos. But again, I'm not going onto a For You page to discover this. I found I stumbled upon this because I followed a guy. I'm not coming across this video randomly. I follow Zuckerberg on my Instagram account, or Zuck, I should say. And aside from again, he's actually a decent, a relative. He's actually a pretty fun follow. Uh, but again, the that is the principle, right? It's going to be an ancillary feature. It's not gonna destroy TikTok. It's not gonna stop TikTok. Um, to the degree to anybody, but the FTC can destroy TikTok. Um, yeah, and so again, maybe yeah, I just extremely struggle to see how it if you if you were a TikTok user and you are also an Instagram user, which again, basically everybody is an Instagram user, um, right? But you will okay if you use Instagram and you use TikTok, you use Instagram, you use TikTok, right? So you use both. After Reels, okay, so after Reels, you're not all of a sudden going to only use Instagram. Like you're not going to stop using one because the other does. And again, if TikTok ever tries to be more like Instagram, which again I don't think they're doing because they know that it's not really what they need to do. It's not gonna it's not gonna work. So it's like they're so okay. And so if the line is after Reels, there is no difference. Like you're not handicapping the other. You're not handicapping TikTok by taking away users by posting reels again because again and why is that? Because this you're not going to change the purpose by adding reels. You are not going to. I think that's might be. I think that might be like the most important point. Adding reels will not change why people use Instagram. It will not change why people use Instagram. Okay. Now, and why do I notice? Because because Instagram Reels only came out a couple months ago, right? So you were using Instagram before then, and you're still using it now. But yeah, I don't think you made a brand new account just to use Reels, right? Whereas for TikTok, you would have made a new account to watch short videos, right? And so I think this is the idea. Adding Reels will not change why people use Instagram. And if it will not change why people use Instagram, then it's not handicapping TikTok because it's not taking anybody. And so it's going to be an ancillary feature, right? Because if I'm only using Instagram to check out, to stay up to date with my friends or people I know or people I'm interested in, uh, then I'm not going to be all that interested in seeing people that are not my friends, that I'm not interested in an algorithmic feed. Whereas for TikTok, I am using TikTok to see people that I don't know, have no prior connection to. That maybe I'm not interested in what their content is, but I'm willing to see the short video and to go along with it. So I think that's the point I'm making, is that adding reels will not change why people use Instagram, and so it's always going to be an ancillary feature. And so if the title of this stream and of the video in the Substack is why Instagram Reels cannot be TikTok, I think that is why, right? Because you're not going to change your user base. Nor do I think I'm I don't think there's more people who want a short form video than there are people who actually currently use Instagram or use the family of apps, as they would put it, or the family of products. Right. And so in 40 minutes, that's kind of what I was getting at. That is what I'm getting at. If anything, the core point is that you use Instagram for purpose. you have been using Instagram for a purpose for over a decade, for years at this point, for a specific purpose. You are not going to change that purpose by adding reels. You are not going to stop using TikTok because Instagram added this ancillary feature that again is diverges from the purpose of why you use Instagram. Um, okay, so it's not going to be TikTok because the users, your Instagram user is not your TikTok user. And not that they're not different for different people, right? Because Instagram user it is a TikTok user in many cases, in pretty much every case, I'd say. But the reason they use TikTok and the reason they use Instagram will be fundamentally different. People use TikTok for certain reasons. People use Instagram for certain reasons. Those reasons do not intersect. Those reasons, that's a bit too zoomed out. Those reasons do not intersect, and I doubt that those reasons will, will disappear after Reels. Right. So I think this paragraph and all right, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this proprietary genius I've unraveled. I've spoon fed to this captive audience of how many people. Um, but that's it, right? It's you use Instagram for a certain reason. Use TikTok for a certain reason. By adding Reels, sure, like you add something that people can use, but it's it's if it's not like take like Instagram, you're not doing something like you're not changing why people use your platform. Nor do I think people want Instagram to be TikTok. Completely divergent products and purposes. And so I think the algorithm of like why why Snapchat is relatively the same Snapchat as from 5 years ago, or why YouTube is still why YouTube hasn't become a Facebook is because it's you have to cater to why people use your product. And it's kind of clear why people, and generally speaking, if you know why people use your products, then you're not gonna. You just have to, make sure people continue using your product. I mean, where it's very hard to change why people use your product, right? Especially when you have 3.6, uh, 3.6 billion, I base of like almost half the world's population, uh, monthly active users, 2.8 billion daily active users. And again, it's very hard to change the reasons why people use your app, especially when it's such a large number. So that is the more serious, and those are like the most poignant uh, reasons as to why Instagram Reels cannot be TikTok. Just because, again, it's most simply because your Instagram user uses Instagram for a different reason than TikTok, and so if you really want to cater to one or the other, then it's kind of an impossibility. Or at the very least, if everything I've said is wrong, again, maybe call me out in the comments. But at the very least, Instagram Reels will not replace TikTok, as much as Facebook may try. Uh, And again, this is kind of it's not the best for Instagram for Facebook to say this, and I say this as I own one share of Facebook of Meta, and so if anything, I'm talking against my book, right? But I think it's kind of clear that the facts are what they are. The consumer use case is what it is, um, and I don't think it's hard to argue against it. And at the very least, again, uh, show me what you do, not what you say. Instagram adding this feature specifically tells me a decent chunk of what I need to know, of what they know that Instagram's purpose is, And would strongly argue that algorithmic stuff diverges from that core purpose, and Reels is the definition of algorithmic stuff. Uh, and whereas TikTok is literally explicitly for algorithmic, whereas I think for a lot of Instagram, you wouldn't mind chronological and just skip the people. That's what you want to see, because that is the use case I think for most people they use Instagram for, not for discovery, but for within a circle that they get to choose. All right. So that is why Instagram Reels cannot be TikTok. Mic drop. Also, secondly, on TikTok you can save videos to your phone. You can completely offline. You can then come like you only you can then upload it to YouTube and create like a your own YouTube channel with TikToks that you save. Whereas Instagram you can't. And so again, to degree that's just a personal point of contention. And but again, right, like being able to save something and download it to your phone and have it offline, and you can edit it and splice it and send it through a DM directly to video file instead of like Instagram link, an Instagram link. Again, a minute point, but I think it just goes to show how the different philosophies when it comes to like maintaining an ecosystem and how much control a user has, right? Because TikTok, you can choose if you want to let people download your save is the TikTok phrase, but to download your video. Instagram, you have no choice. So it just shows right like the different design philosophies of the platforms. But again, TikTok is perfectly fine from Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels will not cannibalize TikTok. Instagram Reels will not stop TikTok from growing user base. But neither is TikTok going to destroy Instagram. I don't think. Again, if Adam Mosseri knows that people don't choose Instagram for a lot of time, then I don't think TikTok is the reason why for that. Again, right? Again, completely different purposes. If I want to catch up with friends, I will catch up with friends for as long as it takes for me to see the post I want to see. And again, so however many minutes that is what it is. But again, it's again, Instagram has its purpose. TikTok has its purpose for the user, and the chips fall where they may, based off that. But yes, Reels will be a useful product that people will use and will bring some entertainment. Again, because it's a proven formula um, for our monkey friends. But again, Instagram Reels will not cannot be TikTok. Instagram Reels will not destroy TikTok, but TikTok won't destroy Instagram Reels. However, um, at the end of the day, hey, let me know if I've made any assumptions, if I made any incorrect statements, and ultimately, and lastly, if anything made you laugh, if anything was insightful, uh, at the, at the very least, this hilarious video of a monkey using TikTok, or is it Douyin? I can't translate that. Maybe it's Douyin. Uh, hey, feel free to buy me a coffee. But anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hey, please let me know. Again, in the future, there's a lot of video projects I wouldn't mind doing. I wouldn't mind maybe I can do a walkthrough of my TikTok and we can look at my analytics and do that. But again, right, like again, I strongly encourage you. Um, I'm not just saying declarative statements. Everything I've said is pretty easy to go back and fact check yourself. Certainly, like the bigger assumptions I've made, like TikTok is most fair platform in terms of like starting from ground zero. I think it's kind of obvious if you think about it. But make a brand new TikTok account. Don't link your contacts. Don't tell anybody, and just like upload like one or two memes like over a couple days. Um, and you'll get, and if you want to do the same on Instagram, you'll see a massive difference in engagement, in exposure, and impressions. So again, Instagram Reels cannot be TikTok. It won't. Probably it's not going to be a better product than TikTok. Um, just from the symbolic fact of not being able to download the natively to your phone. But that's thank you for watching. Maybe you can go watch Instagram Reels. Maybe you can go watch TikTok after this video to do some again product research to tell it to your teacher if you're doing product research for Meta, you know. But but again, it's a consumer facing thing, and you can verify or build your own philosophy. Um, and maybe you will see a video of Mark Zuckerberg surfboarding. Not surfboard. I don't know what the specific term is, but maybe you'll see this video. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Continue to be safe, and let me know if you disagree with anything. If you agree, I'll catch you guys in the next one.